How can someone become an entrepreneur in the travel industry? To find out, I've come to the largest cruise ship in the world. It is the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas, to be here with Martha Valez, a Dream Vacations franchisee who found out about Dream Vacations in Entrepreneur Magazine.
That's right.
I am Jason Feifer, the editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine, so very excited to meet you. And I want to learn how you became a franchisee in the travel industry, because this is not where you started.
It's not.
Tell me about how you began in a very different field.
Yes, so I spent the first 16 years of my professional career as an educator. Different levels, teacher, administrator, went throughout, and then a big change happened about a year ago. My husband was provided an awesome opportunity for him that took us 3 hours south of our network and our support system, and so I decided...
Which is down to Austin, Texas.
Down to Austin, Texas. And so I decided, you know, I'm going to go ahead and try staying home just for my kids. My kids are young, and let's get them transitioned. And I'm going to try doing the stay-at-home mom thing for a little bit. Realize that's the hardest job anybody could ever have.
Yeah.
And decided...
And it must be a really difficult transition.
It was a huge... My last job was as an assistant principal, working 60 hours plus a week.
Right,
and
you had
so
900 kids to deal with.
Exactly. Parents, everything, teachers. So I decided, you know what, we're going to move, and I'm going to stay home and take a break, and that was a lot harder, I think, than running a school.
Right.
So I decided to look into, but there were aspects of it that I liked, small things, and so I said, I want to do something where I can work from home, and started researching what can I do from home, what can I do, and always had a desire to start a business, but always had the fear to start one.
Yeah, you know what, actually, before we move on, let's talk about that a little bit. What were you afraid of?
So, first of all, you get stuck in this, I want to say kind of a box, but you're happy at your job, you're good at your job, so why leave your job?
Right.
Even though you have a heart to start something. And then financial backing. How do you do it when you don't have the finances, or you don't come from a background where someone can give you those finances? So I decided it's too hard. I just can't do it. How do I start? What do I do? And so it just never provided an opportunity. Staying stable and comfortable was easier than taking that risk.
Now, you had loved to travel.
And I always loved to travel.
And I want to hear about that, but when you were looking for something entrepreneurial to do, was travel top of mind?
It was. Yeah. It was. Well, and it started off with self-reflection. What do I love to do? I had this opportunity to do anything I want, no boundaries. What would I want to do? What are my passions? What am I good at? What are my strengths? And so I kind of started looking at those things. Travel, you know, education I'm comfortable with. Maybe I could start a daycare, you know, something like that. What can I do? Made a list. And my husband is a big-time entrepreneur fan. I've always had the magazine, and I never read it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But about 3 months in, I was like, you know, let me start reading this magazine. I'm at home. And one day there was a list of, like, top best franchises, and started circling. What could I be good at? What could be my strengths? Within the confines of not a lot of finances, no experience, what am I going to do?
So travel was top of mind for you, because many years ago you became a travel lover by buying a ticket at random?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Where were you
randomly. So I was about 25 years old, and I come from very humble beginnings, didn't get to travel much as when I was younger. And when I was 25, I saved my money and said, I'm backpacking Europe. And went by myself for about 12 to 14 weeks. And enjoyed every minute.
Yeah.
Stayed in hostels. I bought a one-way ticket, didn't know when I was coming back, and came back about 12, 14 weeks later, and enjoyed it, and that was it. That was my spark. And I started to realize that everything I was working for was to travel. So any breaks in education, we do get some great breaks, and so any break, I was gone.
Right. Also, Dream Vacations has been on the top of our lists for franchises that have a lot of benefits for veterans. How important was that for you? Because I know your husband is a veteran, right?
That's correct. So my husband is my co-owner, and he's a former Marine, and so I will definitely say, as I said, we were kind of looking for businesses, but it was the November 2018 issue that came out. It was a salute to military service, and it had the top franchises for veterans. And Dream Vacations was at the top of the list. It was the perfect price point. And so it was one that I circled and started to research, and all that they do for vets, what really stuck out to us. And so I would say about a month after that, we signed the papers. 2 months later, we're in training.
So how's it been? Because you had said that you were afraid of taking that leap into entrepreneurship, as so many people are.
Yes.
You're still very, very fresh at this, only 8 months in.
Yes.
So what was it like actually getting into it?
scary at first, of course. I think the biggest piece of that fear is because you're coming from an industry or a job where you were comfortable. You were a leader, you were at the top, you knew it, and now you're at the bottom again and you don't know what you're doing. So it's kind of, there was a lot of fear at first, but that's why it's best to find the franchise that's right for you, and the support system has to be in place.
Yeah.
So knowing that I could call at any point, I had an email, I had a contact that I could reach out to, really pushed me through and has helped me exceed my expectations in where I would be by this point.
And what is that? What does that mean for you?
So my first year, I wasn't sure what that was going to look like, but you get a business development person that helps us out. And when they get with you, you create a business plan, they walk you through that, and we set some goals and some expectations, and I've been able to exceed those. And I really think that that's because of the support system that Dream Vacations provides to us.
That's fantastic. What have you learned that surprised you, or that other people who are thinking about getting into this kind of business should know?
Oh, I definitely would say it's not as hard as you think it is once you get past that fear, and if you're making that right choice. I would definitely say continue the ongoing education and training that you can get. Find a franchise that's going to continue that education, and not only that, but network you with other people. And that's the biggest benefit of Dream Vacations is I get to network with other agents that have been doing this a lot longer than I have. And with this company, it's very big on family and bringing us together and creating that camaraderie versus creating friction between us. It's not a competition, it's we're all in this together. And so all of the franchisees that I've met, it's here, do this, or reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions for you. And that is what's made me so happy.
Right, and that's why we're on this boat.
Exactly.
You guys are all together.
We are.
Sessions. Also, there are a lot of parties.
A lot of parties. No sleep. I haven't had time for sleep. That's why I'm stumbling on words.
I went last night. It was last night. The theme was
glow party.
Everybody's had glow sticks.
We enjoyed it.
So did my 4-year-old.
Yes. My kids are here with me as well, and it is, again, like I said, Dream Vacations, big family. So my kids are here. We're enjoying the ship together while I'm learning. Great benefits.
So let's see, final takeaway.
Sure.
Somebody's afraid, they don't exactly know what to do, but they love travel. Is travel and work a thing that everybody can combine?
Gosh, yes. So my biggest piece was I wanted that balance between family and personal. I wanted to feel accomplished professionally, but yet I wanted to balance my family as well. I have 2 young kids, and I wanted to still be there for them. And I'll tell you, it is not easy, but it is definitely doable. You have a lot more flexibility. You can do this, and I'm very happy, and I don't regret one moment of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Martha. I would love to continue talking, but we've got St. Martin behind us, and it's time to get off of this boat and get onto that island.
Yes, we're ready for some beach time.
That's what we're going to do. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.